Alright, out at the deer lease, setting up a new spot for bow season. Since I'm not going to be setting up a feeder, I'm just broadcasting corn. I'm going to take a little bit of this apple powder, mix it in. This stuff's good to season. That's a good enough word. This stuff's good to season 1,000 pounds of corn, apparently, or feed, whatever you're using. So, I think that little sprinkle ought to get us by. So, I'm just mix it right in. And just do that. I like to just spread it around. Make them walk around and work for it a little bit. I'll be set up right there in that blind.
Hey guys, this is Steve for the Fall Obsession. We're out here checking in for the off-season. I got me and my boy out here. We're looking at what has been done to my leaves. As you can see, they have got done cutting the timber, which I've been waiting on this since February, I guess. So right now is when my off-season starts. So I'm going to show you along a little way some of the places we're going to set up for this season. Have a good time. So check it out.
Hi guys, Todd Selling with Fall Obsession here. Today I'm working on smoking some lake trout. The process began last night when we pulled 3 fillets, lake trout fillets, out of our freezer from our charter fishing trip that we went on a couple weeks ago to allow them to thaw out overnight. The next step is I'm working on putting a brine mixture together. The brine mixture consists of 4 cups of water, ½ cup of kosher salt, and ¼ cup of lemon juice. Now you don't have to put lemon juice in, but my family and I really like that lemony, that citrusy flavor in our fish. So we add lemon juice as well. You could just put the salt and the water in and use that as your brine. Okay, so the next step is you take your salt and you have to spread it out evenly on both sides of the fillet. So all you do is just sprinkle it and spread it out with your hands. Now, not all the salt is going to stick, simply because, you know, that's just the way meat works, I guess. I don't know. So there's the one side, got the other side going here. Okay. Spread it out evenly. After you get the salt put on, I take a Ziploc bag. The big freezer bags seem to work the best. Put the fish fillet right inside the freezer bag. And then we add the water. And then the lemon juice. And the brine is made. Okay, so our fish has been soaking overnight, so the next thing we need to do is pat dry both sides of the fillet with a paper towel to remove that excess brine, and then put it back in the refrigerator for about a 4 or 5 hour period. And again, the reason why we do this is to give our meat a chance to absorb as much of that smoky flavor as we possibly can. The fish has been in the refrigerator for the last 5 hours air drying, so our next step is to get the fish in the smoker. Now, we prep the smoker by getting the temp up to 225 degrees, which is the recommended temperature for a lighter meat like fish. We did that by filling the water tray halfway full and putting a ½ cup of mesquite wood chips in after we soaked them in water for an hour. Now that's a really important step, especially if you have an open flame smoker, because you don't want your wood chips catching on fire. That would be not be a very good thing. In addition to safety, soaking your chips in water adds more smoke to the smoking process itself. Now the fish, I sprinkled some lemon pepper rub on it. You don't have to put any on it at all, but again, our family likes that lemon citrusy taste. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these in the smoker. When I put them in the smoker, I like to go skin down because heat rises, and the last thing that the heat will go through is the meat. So, or the smoke will go through is the meat. So I'm gonna do that real quick. Okay, now all we have to do is monitor the temperature and add wood chips once an hour for the next 2.5 hours, or until the internal temperature gets up to 145 degrees. That's the recommended internal temperature for a fish. And that's it. We're ready to go. So here's our final product, freshly smoked lake trout. This is dinner tonight, and it's going to be awesome. It really didn't take that long. The most time-consuming part of the whole process was once you put the fillets in the smoker, just keeping up the temperature and with the wood chips as well, so you can get that smoky flavor into it. At this point, I'd like to take the opportunity to thank all of you for all your support of Fall Obsession. Please keep liking us and watching us on social media. Thanks for watching.
Hey, Fall Obsession. This is Brendan Scott here. This weekend we drove to beautiful Colorado. We came up here on a scouting trip. We got a elk hunt coming up here in about 2 weeks, so we drove up here this weekend and hiked in to about 8,500 feet or so. Set up a base camp, and then we came down here this morning. We found a really nice wallow. Well, it will be eventually. Then we actually sitting here watching, and this morning we seen a bear cub. We seen some elk. We seen 2 nice bulls. Both of them. Well, one of them was a 6x6, and I couldn't really get an eye on how big the second one was, but it wasn't bad at all. So hopefully that's a good indication of how our hunt's going to go here in a couple weeks.
Hey guys, Sam here. I'm out here today at Cinnamon Creek Ranch shooting some 3D on their long range course. Man, this thing is pretty freaking sweet. So right here we got 3 elk targets. The closest one's at 34, then we have 53, and then 73. I don't know if y'all can see, but there's a caribou tucked over there. I think I ranged him at 84 or 94, and then I doubt you'll be able to see it. It's hidden in the shadow, but there's another elk over here that's at 104 yards. So this range is really set up specifically for long range shooters, those western hunters, those elk, mule deer, antelope hunters. So if you guys are in the area, you need to come check out Cinnamon Creek, because this place is awesome and this range is something else. So I'm going to be getting some reps in here this morning. Unfortunately, not in preparation for a Montana pronghorn hunt, but you know, that's how it goes sometimes. Sometimes you don't get drawn. So, but nevertheless, I still love long range shooting. I'm still going to enjoy it, and it's a good morning out here in the hot state of Texas to be shooting a bow. So, thanks for watching Off Season. Peace out.